So welcome back, guys. So in the last video, we tried our LLM or Llama 3.2 to interact with our database. So in that video itself, I told you that our next step will be to use Raspberry Pi to detect our particular objects in a camera and send it across overlay system using an Wi-Fi, or like you can send the data from Raspberry Pi to system over Wi-Fi. So we will be researching on that today. So basically, my research method is pretty much basic for these kind of things. I typically use ChatGPT. So for today's particular research, I asked ChatGPT. So I am planning to do some basic detection in Raspberry Pi and send the data over the Wi-Fi to my server system, and how good that will be, and what is the code to do that using Python. So this is my basic prompt to ask ChatGPT how to get the particular topic, or how to get results on the particular topic. So basically, ChatGPT gave me the answer as usual. So as you can see, first it says, okay, this is your aim, object detection. The format will be in JSON. You will be sending over this data over Wi-Fi to our PC. So in the Raspberry Pi, there is a couple of setups. It is saying we don't have to look into that right now. So to send the data, you just have to post the request from Raspberry Pi to the server, and you have to get that data using the server. So that's the basic concept that ChatGPT suggested. So you can set a path to post the data, and you can use the server to go to that particular port and get the data from there. So here they are talking about Flask server here, and they also suggested some advanced methodology also, like MQTT, WebSocket, UDP. For here, I think a basic network will be enough for our particular use case. So after that, I asked ChatGPT, will it provide me with a basic script? I believe so. Like, I believe that I asked ChatGPT to give me a Python code for this particular system, where I can see, where I can use Raspberry Pi to send the data over to the system, because I already have a database where our detection is happening, or a code base where our detection is happening. It is being connected to a database, and we are using Llama 3.2 to interact with this particular database. So we already have a code base. So I asked whether can we use this particular information that we got now into this code base. So just like that, ChatGPT said yes, we can interact the way we used the previous method. We just need to add few more layers to the particular code that we already have. So the most essential functions that come to these particular things are like three layers. It can be divided into three layers. One is the object detection layer. In between that, there is a logging layer, and below that there is the LLM layer. So here ChatGPT is assuming that we already have a function on our camera screen, that is like in our Raspberry Pi. So we will be using some log detection function, and we will be adding a Flask server to send the data from Raspberry Pi to the system, and the system will be also having the particular mechanism to connect to this port and to get the data from there and log it into our database. So my next question is, like, what will be the, like, since it is a Flask server, I'm more interested in Fast API, because currently Fast API is mainly used nowadays more than Flask, because Fast API is asynchronous, and it is the conventional standard nowadays. So I asked ChatGPT, is there any advantage of using Fast API instead of Flask? So it says it is native, it's async, it's much faster, it's pydantic. So to receive, in our particular scenario, to receive the data seamlessly, it's pretty much very good to use Fast API over Flask. So that's what ChatGPT is suggesting us right now. And here are a few advantages of using Flask, Fast API or Flask. And in a particular system, even though Flask is enough, it's a production standard to use Fast API to send the data over asynchronously over to the server system. And right now, I basically asked, give me a basic sample code uh, using this particular information that we already have to create a basic mechanism to send this particular data over to the system. It gave me a folder structure which includes the main.py, models.py, then it should have a logs.py, and the our particular LLM inquiry schemas, so those kind of things. So here in the model.py, it is basically the structure of the database that we are already using, and it is a sample code, and it gave me some the sample code, and in the main function happens in the main.py, where the data is being logged and sent as a JSON file or as a string across the port. So this is our basic research now that we have right now. So we will be trying to integrate a similar code in our database, now in our code base, and we will see if that works very well as intended. And before that, we might have to reboot and flash our Raspberry Pi. I believe last time we flashed was 1 or 2 years ago, and I don't remember any of the passwords or the networks I have set up in that particular system. So we might have to reflash it again. I might use some of my friends' help for that. But yeah, once that is flashed, we'll be using the same code that we develop in the coming days to send the data from our Raspberry Pi to our particular local system. And inside the local system, we have our LLM that will be interacting with this database. And we will be also experimenting with another models as well, because Llama 3.2, as you know, is slightly heavier than we expect. So that's all, guys. That's for the day. See you in the next video.